and now it's Carl's bit. It's the re-education of Carl. He's like Liza Doolittle. And now he's coming to, or Lawnmower Man, if you've seen that film. More like Lawnmower Man, if you've seen the film. You'll know what I mean. And his homework was to just study quotes, really, on happiness and stuff, and general well-being. He's not a big happiness, quote fan, are you, Carl?
Not really.
So what have you done? You've come up with something, haven't you?
Right, yeah, I told you, right? Because a lot of these are just things you say every day. They're nothing special. So what I'm doing...
Well, you say them every day.
Well, the sort of things you come out with and you don't even think about it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're on the TV all the time, people on the radio are saying these sort of little quotes.
Sure.
And, what I've done is, remember that programme on Channel 4, Faking It?
Yeah.
Where they got some, like, posh kid to be on a door and all that. What I've done, I've,
Imagine if that was the pitch for the show. Dear Channel 4, just gonna get a posh kid on a door or something?
Yeah,
Yours sincerely, Carl.
come in. Yeah.
TV producer.
Yeah, yeah, go on.
So, what I've done, this little book of quotes, happiness quotes, I've picked 2 that are real.
Okay.
And I've made one up. Right?
And we've got a guess.
And you've got to guess.
Okay then, go on.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rick, why don't we, when we've heard them, we won't confer.
No.
You'll write down yours,
Yeah.
A, B or C, and I'll write down mine and we'll see how it
Okay,
is.
Carl, off you go.
Right, and just because I'm looking at this book, it doesn't mean I'm actually reading.
No, I know,
Don't worry,
no.
we're clever.
No, we know, we can't see yet.
Like, call my bluff.
Yeah, go on then.
Nothing is worth more than this day.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah?
Alright.
Yeah.
The way I see it...
Oh God, my head's gonna burst.
No, hang on.
My head's gonna burst.
No,
Hang
no,
on.
this might not be Carl's.
It might not be.
How do you know I haven't tweaked them a little bit?
Yeah, good
Okay,
point.
fair
Good
enough.
point. No, good point.
The way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you got to put with the rain.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright?
Alright, yeah.
Okay, hang on. It's not here.
Come on.
Cat food.
Cat food, go on.
It stinks a bit. But, if you don't put up with the smell, the little kitten will die.
Steve! I don't know what to say! I don't know what to say. Imagine this in faking it. Imagine their faces when he says that and they're going, oh my God. Oh. Carl, play a song, mate.
We'll have to confer on this one.
Well, that's just amazing, Carl. Just read them again. Two were real, one was fake. Go on then.
Right. First one. Nothing is worth more than this day.
Excellent. Next one.
What does that mean?
Well, cherish now, cherish your time.
Okay.
Because you can't get it back, and
Yeah.
you know.
That's the way I saw it.
Carpe diem, whatever it is, seize the day and all that.
Okay. If you want the rainbow, you've got to put up with the rain.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, rough with the smooth. You know, it's not all plain sailing, but you know, rainbow's beautiful, but it comes because of the rain, which you might not like. So
Yeah.
make the most of everything, and yeah. Good.
Cat food doesn't smell good, but if you don't put up with it, then the little kitten will die.
Right, now, Carl, that is a good effort. Now, that one's yours. I mean, obviously, right?
Right.
Right, no, but it's a good effort, right?
I mean, it slipped seamlessly into the others.
Yeah.
Don't think it didn't.
No, but it's good. I mean, we knew it was that one, but, what I will say is, it's good, but what you don't know, maybe subconsciously, is, I mean, it's very similar to, the putting up with the rain and the rainbow, but that's good.
Why do you think that?
Well...
What does mine mean?
Well, even though it smells bad, it's good for something.
Right,
So
see,
that's
I didn't look at it like that.
What do you look at that?
I kind of thought...
Was yours more specifically about cat food, generally? Because you know, normally it's an analogy.
Yeah, or a metaphor for something, you know, much bigger.
Well, no, the way I
mean,
looked at it-
Dolly Parton, who I think did the rain thing, she wasn't specifically concerned about weather conditions.
No.
It was a sort of general idea.
It's all about life.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've done.
Go on,
I've used an everyday thing
Yeah.
and put it with today's problems, right?
Go on.
So, like, my girlfriend, yeah? She might like to go shopping for clothes. I hate it,
Right.
but because I love her, I put up with it.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, you love that little kitten. You can't stand the smell of the stuff you gotta feed it. But because you love it, you go, well, you know, I'll put up with this just for a few minutes, and then I can, like, squeeze its head later and give it a little...
Sorry, can we go back?
You know, stroke its head and stuff.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was a bit of a slip, was it?
Squeeze its little head.
Yeah.
Well, that's just the thing that I do with cats.
Put it in a bag and drown it in a lake.
I can feed it and then I can throw it against the wall.
Exactly.
So you didn't see it like that, did you?
No, that's very good. So it's about love, is it? It's about putting up with the bad things for something you love.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
But Carl, you seem now to be convinced and rather smug that you've tricked us and that you've fooled us and that we didn't understand it. Well, I say that's your fault, not ours.
No, it's not though. I mean, look, that man in Forrest Gump, he was a bit of a nutter. And he came up with the life as a box of chocolates thing.
Yeah.
Now, if that was in this book, you say, oh yeah, brilliant, you know, good bit of work. But if he was sat here doing the show with you, you'd be taking the mickey out of him.
Sometimes I feel he is.
No, but, Carl, I could, in fact, if people are out there, we're too lazy, could you write down everything Carl's ever said? Because I think we could publish that.
Yeah.
Talking of, eating knobs.
Yeah.
Jilly Goulden. Now
What's she been up to?
Well, you saw it in I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
I haven't been watching it.
She popped a little kangaroo knob in the mouth, chewed it up.
What, she just found it? Did she line around?
No, it was one of the things that she had to
Oh,
eat.
one of the challenges.
Carol Thatcher, you know, a daughter of, one of our leaders.
Sure.
She popped a couple of bollocks in the mouth, chewed them up, swallowed them.
Oh.
And Jilly Goulden, there was a kangaroo, penis there, dried. She couldn't even get, it was so tough she couldn't even get through it. And then she, eventually she eats it.
What was it, like a pepperoni?
Yeah, and what do you think of that, Carl?
What, eating that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, I watch it, I like those little trial bits, right?
Yeah.
But, what I don't think people realise is, right, it is hard eating a little kangaroo knob. Right?
Really? How do you know?
No, it's just, you know, you think about it and you go, oh, couldn't do that, right? But what they never mention on the TV programme, which I think takes it to the next level, right? They're eating that at like 7:30 in the morning.
Sure. Right.
Which is worse, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If I was there and Ant and Dec said, right, Carl, eat the knob, I'd go, hang on a minute, give us a few hours, let me get some rice and that on my belly, and just sort of fill me up a little bit more. I'll pop back at about 6:30 this evening.
Right.
Have it ready. And I'd be happier then. It's just that thing of, you know, you don't
want to eat animal genitals on an empty stomach.
So what are you saying? You could
I'm saying like I could eat a knob at night, but
just cut that there. We'll loop that. If any DJs are listening, just take that quote. I could eat a knob at night by Karl Pilkington. Maybe do a dance remix.
Yeah, I think maybe you're sort of a house producer, and you could maybe get some kind of high energy beat going, and then we could just send that out to some of the gay clubs. I'm sure it'd be really popular.
Please, anyone send us, you know, that loop with a nice little, you know, funky house beat. Karl Pilkington saying I could eat a knob at night.
No, but
do you
know what I mean though? By that.
Not really.
Well, okay then, right. Okay. Now, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I couldn't pop a kangaroo testicle in my mouth and chew it. It was disgusting to watch. She was eating witchetty grubs. I mean, good on them because they were doing it. But then again, I think, well, they wanted to go in there. They knew they were up for it. So on the one hand, I think, is that admirable and is that showing sort of like good British metal, or is it, you know, I'll do anything to get on telly for a week? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't. Where does it stop? You know, I thought Rebecca Lewis went too far when she gave the little pig a tug, but at least she knew where to stop.
Yeah.
She didn't, you know.
Well, I think it's obvious when you have to stop.
Yeah, but you know,
the pig tells you that.
You know, to pop the Also, again, where's the kangaroo hopping around without a cock?
I tell you, here's another question, right? Bit of a spin-off with animals and that. Have you ever, right, Steve, killed a fly?
Probably, yes.
Right. Well, I was watching David Attenborough. Right. He makes his money out of flies and that, doesn't he? Do you think he's ever killed one, or does he go, well, I can't kill that fly or that spider, because that's how I make my money?
I don't know what the question is.
I don't know what this question is.
Like my mum, right, she said, if a fly is knocking about the house, she never kills it, she always catches it and puts it out and that, and she said she'd never kill one.
Who is she, Mr. Miyagi? What do you mean she catches it? How does she catch it?
With a pair of chopsticks.
No, she...
Well, obviously, Carl was out with me last night, and he saw that I'm, you know, he knows I'm a ladies' man, and that was obvious. Carl, you could see the vibe around me, couldn't you? When the chicks were talking to me. And just remembered recently, actually, I was on a train coming back from hometown Bristol, And I was on the train, and this girl walks on, good-looking girl. I thought, hey, largely empty carriage. I'm thinking, well, luck's in. You know, because I take every opportunity, Carl. That's the thing about me. You know, I don't choose. She was a good-looking girl. She sat down. I thought she sat down right near me. I thought, brilliant. As this guy comes up behind her, and I think it's probably a boyfriend or something. Sits down next to her, and I listened in on the conversation, you know, obviously because I'm pretending to read. It was very clever. I read the same page for hours. So I was pretending to listen. I was listening but pretending to read. And I realised that it's not her boyfriend or anything. It's just some guy she's met on the platform. And I'm thinking, brilliant, if she's the kind of girl who's just going to start talking to someone, you know, on a platform, on a train, brilliant, I'm going to be in here. Because he was only going one stop. So I'm thinking, what's the worst that can happen? He'll nick off, you know, I'll get chatting to her, you know, and who knows, I could join the... is there a train equivalent?
Foot High Club.
The Foot High Club, brilliant. And, so I'm excited, you know, I'm listening in. And, it turns out that they're both kind of, graduates who just finished university, or they're coming to their finals or something. And they're chatting away, you know, and he's making a couple of witticisms, you know, and she's kind of tittering at his jokes. I'm thinking, well, I'll tell you this, if she's laughing at this kind of material, I am gonna blow her away, you know, with my kind of anecdotes and wry observations, you know.
Yeah.
It was weak stuff, I gotta be honest.
Really?
He was coming out with nothing. He was running on empty, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And she was loving it. So I'm thinking, brilliant, I'm gonna be right in here. And then they get moving on to higher brow things, you know, and, I think she was going to study kind of Marxism or something like that, or communism, something. And she was asking him, you know, by way of conversation, she was asking him what he knew about Marxism, you know. And he was fumbling for his vague knowledge of it that he had in his life. And I'm just sat there thinking, yeah, come on, love, in any given capitalist environment, the proletariat will revolt against their oppression by the bourgeoisie, and after a brief period of socialist rule, emerges a classist society governed by community cooperation.
Well, if that sort of talk wouldn't get a woman hot, I don't
Come
know.
on,
I don't
Rick.
know what you'd use.
If
then
Marx and Engels is not going to get a woman sweaty down below,
I
then
know.
nothing is.
No.
Then my name is
You're
not
just
Steve
biding
Nation.
your time. Yeah?
Exactly. I'm just
yeah.
going to go in for the kill any minute.
Yeah.
So anyway, it comes to his stop, right? He gets up. I'm thinking, this is a piece of cake. And he gets off, and off he goes. He walks off. And I'm thinking, brilliant. And I thought, I'll wait. You know, I'll wait till the train's pulled away. I'm not going to leap in straight away.
No.
And he comes back along the carriage. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute. He goes, listen, do you mind if I give you my email address?
Oh.
Right? And if you want to get in touch, email me. I'm thinking, come on, you loser. Get off now. Save your face, please, before it's too embarrassing. She accepts the email address because she obviously doesn't want to hurt his feelings, whatever. I'm thinking, fair enough. She's a good woman. I'm liking her. I'm loving her. I'm thinking, that's my kind of girl. So anyway, he gets off. I'm sat there, the train pulls away. I'm thinking, yeah, I'll wait a few minutes, you know, I'll just, you know, give it some time. Her phone rings. It's her friend on the phone. And, she starts saying, and I was listening in, and she was going, yeah, just met a guy on the train. I'm thinking, yeah, that's true enough. She goes, yeah, he was a good-looking guy. I thought, you're having a laugh, love. To be honest. Because I was looking at him, and she said to her friend, he looks a bit like tennis player Boris Becker. I thought, well, you should be so lucky, frankly, because I saw him, he had awful facial hair, if that's what makes him look like Boris Becker. Terrible little goatee beard, it was laughable. I thought, I don't know, and then she goes to think, and she's like, yeah, I met him, we got chatting and stuff, you know, and she was going, it's not often that you meet someone, you know, generally in life, who's, you know, kind of thoughtful and intelligent and funny. I thought to myself, I'm not even going to waste my time with you, love. Frankly, if that's what you thought of him.
You just walked away.
And I'll be honest with you, I didn't even bother talking to her.
No, you were just
didn't even
above
waste
it.
my time with
If
her,
she thinks that bloke is not
If
only
she thought
great
he was
looking,
funny,
but
great
funny
looking-
and intelligent, and she got on well, and he was polite, and it was a chance meeting, and he thought, and she thought that you were like a freaky looking dork who didn't even have the nerve to
If
speak.
that is what
if that's
she
what
was
she
thinking,
thinks, then
then I
she's
don't
not-
wanna know her.
I couldn't. You walked away, and good luck to you.
And I have my dignity intact.
Yes, and she's nothing.
There was a man on the radio doing poetry, says Carl in his diary. I thought I'd have a go at doing a poem about today.
Not really. Steve, I'm a little bit queasy. He hasn't really written a poem.
He's written a small poem.
No, he hasn't really.
Yes. If moths had eyes...
Fuck me!
let me read the poem, okay?
Oh, fuck.
You wouldn't interrupt T.S. Eliot.
Okay. Oh, okay.
If moths had eyes, would they be happier? How do they know they're not dead? Cavemen hunting for food, but not before they style the hair on their head. What would last longer in dinosaur times? A blind man didn't stand a chance. Not with all them rocks about. I'd rather be a blind moth.
Right. It may be the greatest poem
Now,
ever written.
just you know, dissecting it briefly, you attempt to rhyme in the first 4 lines, but abandon the rhyming system in the last 3. Is there a creative decision for that?
Can we have Carl read that?
By all
Sorry,
means, yeah.
just you read it as you would like to. So this is, imagine this, right? Okay, this is going out all over the world. This podcast, and now Karl Pilkington, a new poet from Manchester, now living in London, England, would like to read a poem.
If moths had eyes, would they be happier? How do they know they're not dead? Cavemen hunting for food, but not before they style the air on their head. What would last longer in dinosaur times? A blind man didn't stand a chance. Not with all them rocks about. I'd rather be a blind moth.
He said it as though the last bit was going to rhyme. He said it like it was going to rhyme. Oh God!
No,
I
but
think,
it's amazing.
I think,
It's
but I
amazing.
think
Carl!
I think he feels as though the final line, "I'd rather be a blind moth," is going to be one of those great, you know, those, a summation that somehow the moth is a metaphor. The caveman.
No, but
there's
all
no
I'm
metaphor
doing-
in that. He really does mean he'd rather be a blind moth.
Yeah, well, I'm just because I've looked at the day's news.
Can we always do that, Carl? Can we always find a day, right, and always sum it up in your
in a
thoughts,
poem.
a poem, just like that? I love that structure. I love that structure. I was talking to Carl in the week. We were talking about new settlers and everything, and I was thinking, imagine if you had to start a new settlement now. Okay, there's something wrong with the world. Okay, the world was kaput. Okay, and we found another planet. So, Carl, if you had to go to a new planet, don't worry about starting life again. They've got sort of like these breeder clones that do all that, but you can choose 6 people from this world to take to start this whole new world. Okay, so you need, you know, as I say, you don't need to.
So
worry
what's
about,
happening here? Is this?
It's going to be wiped out. Okay, it's going to be wiped out. But there's enough on this spaceship for you and 5 other people. Okay, and they've got them there. They've got these sort of breeder clones there, so it's going to be populated. You're going to have the workers, the drones, everything like that. But you want to take 6, I suppose, sort of world lords to teach, to lay down the politics, the teachings, the laws, the government.
I'd hate it. And how long have I got to make a decision on it?
Till the end of this podcast. Right, go. Who do you take? Who's the first person you take, and why?
And where are we going? Mars.
Okay, so a planet where there's an atmosphere.
I've got to know where I'm going because I've got to sell it to the people who I'm asking. There's no point when I go, are you coming with me? Where are you going? I don't know.
It's just like this world. There's oxygen, there's seas, there's rivers, there's forests, there's animals. Okay, but we're going to populate it with the human race, and you can choose 6 people to lord over this new kingdom.
You want the best people for the job.
Yeah. So who's the first person?
Probably Patrick Moore.
Why? why would you take Patrick Moore?
Just because he knows his way about up there, doesn't he? He'll know the way. So just have him. I think that will, whoever I pick next, if they see that he's going, they'll go, right, you know, it's going to be a long
Moore's
journey as
on
it
board.
is. You don't want someone who's going to be going, is it left here? Is it right? Do you know what I mean?
And he could play the xylophone on the journey.
But
Is
Carl, is Moore the most useful person to have if you've only got 6? Because he may be very useful getting to the planet.
No, but I've
once
always
you got
wanted to
there,
meet him as well. I've always wanted to chat, and that'd be a good chance, wouldn't it, when I'm in a rocket? How long's it taking to get to Mars?
I don't know, a year.
That's what I mean.
No, it's
so,
not Mars, it's somewhere else. Okay, so it's a year to get there, and then...
yeah, well, that's what I mean. So it's a good chance to have a chat with him
Okay.
about stuff.
So
And I think he'd be up for it as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think you know. it's
why do you think that?
just because he's spent his whole life talking about what's going on up there, isn't it? And yet he's never been, and I feel sorry for him. You know, most people when they're into something, they get to go to a place, don't they?
Sure.
People who don't know who Patrick Moore is, he's an 80-year-old astronomer.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So let him have a bit of a good life.
So Moore's on board.
Yeah, Patrick Moore, he's on. Right, out of 5 others.
4 others now.
Jamie Oliver.
Why would you take Jamie Oliver?
Just food and that. You need someone, because they say that like you know, you can feel down if you don't eat.
He couldn't convince 8-year-olds to eat a carrot. What's he going to do in this brave new world? They're all going to be on turkey Twizzlers.
I think he's got the right attitude. He wouldn't be faffing about. Remember, we've landed now on this new world.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like. The people who've
Listen,
made me
I
go,
love Jamie Oliver. I think he's great.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't be in my 5 people to start a new world. That's all I'm saying. Nor would Patrick Moore, because he knew the way.
Well, what chef would you pick?
I wouldn't pick a chef. Why would I pick a chef?
Because you want someone who's going to, like I say, food's important. When you're low, there's nothing better. If you're a bit fed up, there's nothing better than having a good...
But Carl, I don't think you've quite grasped that these people have to start civilization again. They have to be wise people who can make the laws.
Yeah, and before you do all that, you need a good meal. So Jamie Oliver, that's his job. It's like when we get there, that's when he kicks in.
Right.
He's the first one, really,
Can I
who
suggest
gets going.
Just to save 2 places on Patrick Moore and Jamie Oliver, take a map and a cookbook. Okay, who's number 3?
What sort of state is this world in? Does it need...
Oh, he's going to take a fucking gardener. It's like
It's the world, but new.
It's that exactly. It's the world but new, untouched by humans. There've been no fossil fuels burnt, no machinery, no wars. Just this Garden of Eden. And you, Patrick Moore and Jamie Oliver pitch up.
Plus, who else, Carl? Go now. First thought.
Attenborough.
Oh God! Again, he's a genius, and he's a bit of a hero of mine. But I don't know if we need Attenborough.
Just because I reckon if it's a new world, you're saying it's the same, but they always say, don't they, that all worlds are different. So I'd want him there, just to sort of, when we're roaming around, because we'll all stick together for a bit, won't we? When we're roaming around.
Then they'll be sick of the sight of you. They go, let's lose Carl.
But you've got 2 men so far who've got a combined age of about 150. I mean, if you're starting a brave new world, they're, dare I say it, not going to be around very long. Shouldn't you be taking some younger, fresher blood?
No, not really, because they haven't lived, have they? These have lived, and they can and they're useful, like I say. Patrick Moore's done his bit, he's got us there. Oliver has cooked us a dinner. Day 2, I reckon we'd end that on day 1 there. We'd have a dinner, we'd all have a chat.
I don't think you're thinking of the future. I think you're thinking
trip.
exactly. I think you're thinking of the journey and then the first night. Okay. So you've got David Attenborough, you've got Patrick Moore, and you've got Jamie Oliver, you've got 2 other places.
I get the feeling that you're not so much recruiting people for a new world as I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
As a dinner party with people you'd like to meet that you've seen on the telly. Oh. Come on, in 2 more.
I'd text someone who's a bit daft. Just so...
No, you don't need to, Carl.
That's covered, believe us.
Yeah,
no, that's what I mean, though. I don't want them having a go at me going, why are you here? I'd point the attention somewhere else. To text someone else who'd sort of wind them up. So
who's that then?
Paul Denan, or someone like that.
It really is, I'm a celebrity. So you've got Patrick Moore, you've got David Attenborough, you've got Jamie Oliver and Paul Denan.
They're starting life again.
Okay then, brilliant. Oh God. Right, one more. This is amazing. It's going to be. I'd love to go back and visit this in 1,000 years. What teachings they laid down. Oh God.
Don't know. It'd have to be a woman. I think you got to have a woman in that little group, haven't you? Could have another woman chef or.
It's mainly eating.
He's got that covered with Oliver, but no, he's got to take Nigella in case he's in a cream cake kind of mood.
Oh God. Delia Smith was furious. She packed her bags and everything.
Or a nurse.
Now you're thinking.
Abby Titmus?
Tell the story about the manhole cover.
Right, in the same magazine as the one with the cat and the fire and that.
Don't tell me that story again, it gives me the shivers.
Yeah, a cat that's got a weird expression on his face is against God.
Anyway, this isn't a scary story, this was just like physics. Physics.
Yeah.
It was going on about the nuclear bomb and how powerful it is. And they put a manhole cover on top of one.
Okay.
Blew it up.
Yeah.
Never saw the manhole cover again.
Man alive, Carl. Unexplained.
What's going on there? Something weird is happening there. Oh.
If anyone has ever seen that manual cover, please get in touch. We'd love to know where it is.
Oh, that's fantastic. What sort of experiment is that? I imagine all these scientists on multi-billion-pound research budgets, they're going, we test everything. What would you do to manual cover? Don't know.
That's like letting a couple of students.
Yeah, exactly.
control of a nuclear
Do you reckon it can
Let's
send a
put this
traffic cone into orbit? Go on then, put it on there. I love that. Imagine that. What value is that? I might tell you what we could do. We could put the manhole cover on it and aim it, and then blow the bomb up, and the manhole cover would have someone's eye out. Fire it. See if you can fire manhole covers off the nuclear bomb. I love it. Tie bangers to a bomb. See if it's louder.
I'll tell you what, right? I'll tell you how focused I am.
What?
Got some new ideas for you.
Go on.
Oh, they've all been blinders in the past.
Go on.
Did you do any competitions when I was away?
Did we? I think we did, didn't we? Didn't we give away a DVD?
Did we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, go on. Yeah,
Right,
go on. Anyway.
Well, I've thought of some,
This isn't like radio, is it, as we know it? This is just people talking. If the mic's on, it's luck.
Yeah.
If anyone's listening, I've no idea what they think of this show. It's not a show.
Not in the traditional sense.
No. Okay,
No.
then you're going to change with that, Carl.
Because a
You've
show suggests a certain form of presentation.
Yeah.
A certain pride.
got- And when we do present
and dare
it,
I say it, some planning.
yeah, and when we do, it's ruined by him pressing the wrong button.
Yeah.
but I've got some planning here.
Go on then.
Quizzes.
this?
What I did was, when I was on holiday,
Yeah.
right, you said, come up with a new idea, right? So the best way of coming up with ideas is sort of
Thinking.
nicking a TV show name and then twisting it a bit.
Yeah.
So
Or just rip off Simon Mayo's idea completely.
That's
Well,
good
I
advice for anyone out there.
I didn't.
yeah.
If you're interested in ideas.
Carl is presently running a course writing for TV.
Yeah.
And that's the lesson one, isn't it? Just rip something else off.
Just do an
do
idea
it.
and change the title slightly.
Yeah.
Well,
Go on.
this one I haven't really got. I don't know what to do on the game, but I'm thinking strike it, Ricky.
That's all you've got.
That's
what you've come up
I
with.
haven't-
How
I haven't
long did
thought
that
one
take?
through.
What is that?
I just thought it sounded a bit like Lucky. Forget that one then.
Yeah, forget that one. Okay. Yeah, well,
Right.
no, good. No, we all have hits on this. Even Spielberg's, not all his films, can hit the. Go on.
Right.
No, okay. No, it's a good. Go on.
Do you
Yeah.
remember Big Brother,
Yeah. Do I remember Big Brother? No, go on.
Big Mother, right? You call in. If your mum's ever, you win a CD.
What do you mean? How can you prove that?
All right, forget that. Right, here. Here's one.
Right, ER. Good one.
No.
Yeah. No.
The Price is Right. Remember that?
Yeah.
Right.
The Price is Ricky?
No. The rice is right. And what I do, I read from an Indian menu and a Chinese menu. You tell me whether you have pilau or egg fried.
He's a genius, isn't he? He really is a modern.
that one.
Let's go on
don't
then.
get it.
Go into let's go into this one. Let's not cross this off right away. Go on then. What do you read from what?
Well, I'll get a couple of menus from like an Indian and a Chinese takeaway.
Yeah.
And I'll go like, chicken korma.
Well, could I just suggest that as it's an Indian, it'll be pilau, and anything you read out that is.
Yeah, but you don't know which one I'm reading from.
What, the chicken korma's Indian, isn't it?
Yeah, so you go pilau. But then
Well, then you might as well say Indian or Chinese.
No, because then the name wouldn't work. The rice is right.
Okay, yeah, I forgot you're working for the title backwards, aren't you? Okay, yeah. Okay.
I'm so confused. I don't know where I am or what day it is.
A programme that they've been in on Channel 4, right?
Can you cross that out? We're not doing the Rice is Right
I
either.
don't understand the Rice is Right.
No, go
I'll
on.
tell you that later. We'll have a game in the office, right? A game that they've been in on Channel 4, but has got really big viewing figures.
Well, obviously not.
Right.
Or they
Let's
wouldn't be
scrap
binning it. Go on.
Do you know 15 to 1?
Yeah.
They're getting rid of that, right?
Are they?
I'm thinking 15 Taiwan. Get some items that are made in Taiwan, right? Get 15 items, and I say what they are, and then you go, oh, I bet it's the vase. Or something.
That's one that's made in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Just explain that again very quickly.
No, don't go.
Alright,
Cross it out.
forget that.
Cross it out. 15 Taiwan.
Right.
Go on.
This is the one that I've prepared for, because I think this
is
isn't
a blinder.
daft, this is good.
Let's
Go
play
on.
a tune and let's hear it after that.
Oh, God.
I'm
You
very
sure?
excited.
When I got back off holiday, my dad was in hospital. I shot back to see him, see how he's getting on, and hospitals are depressing places, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really, like, God, you know, even if you're not that ill, it makes you feel worse.
Yeah.
Because it's really, like, drags you down, there's people walking around moaning, and, you know...
You, mainly.
Yeah. Nurses.
And, my dad was
political.
there.
Yeah.
It's a high five.
Satire.
Do you know what I mean?
I would like to be
Because
the
they don't get
NHS.
paid enough and all that, and they do,
Oh.
like...
No, well, that's...
Tony
what I mean.
Blair, are you listening?
I don't want to look like I'm moaning about the people working, because they all work really hard.
Yeah, of course they do,
everyone,
yeah.
But it's just
God bless
they are depressing places.
High five.
Nice one,
Go
nice
on.
one.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm sat there, and my dad's getting fed up, and
Is that because you're visiting?
just he's quite an active bloke, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden he's
Yeah,
got
like
to stay in bed, and
yeah.
you know, it's like sit down, stop moving about, and all this. So so he's sat there, and there's an old woman in the bed next door, right, and she's in a bad way anyway.
Yeah.
Right. She must have been, I'd say she looked about 98, something like that.
Okay, good.
Right. Now, I don't know what was wrong with her, but she was always constantly moaning, and you could see that the nurses were trying their best to keep her happy, and she wasn't having any of it. And, you know, she was moaning because her hands had gone blue.
Well, that is a worry, to be honest.
Well, it's not, because she's 98.
Is that what happens?
But why doesn't the doctor, if I was a doctor, and I'm not one, but...
No, Carl, don't be modest. Are you a doctor? Yes or no?
but if I
I
was
think he's
there-
let it slip. Carl, are you a doctor?
No, listen.
Look me in the eye.
Right. Yeah,
So this
Carl-
woman had blue hands. Had
She
she
had-
seen a spacecraft?
right. So...
Go on.
She had blue hands. Now, she's 98. If I was a doctor, I'd be
No,
thinking,
she's not 98. You said earlier on she looked about 98. So you're making that up.
It's just shifted from
98.
speculation to fact.
Absolute fact now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, she's 98.
It is fact now.
There's a 100-year-old woman.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
If I was a doctor, I'd be thinking,
You're not, are you? You honestly,
Thinking, how did I con them? How did I get away with this?
I'd be thinking,
right.
she's 98. She hasn't got long left. Why not just let her be at home and be happy in
With
her
her blue
own
hands,
in her own
yeah.
space?
Yeah.
You know, and let her have a nice life, whatever's left.
Because she may hurt herself. She may have falls. Some people have to go in there for their own protection. She might not have immediate
More than
family.
that, she may not have been dragged in against her will.
No,
she may
no.
have come to hospital because she was worried
Yeah.
about her blue hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I was talking to Ricky, he said, "Oh, what it would have been is probably a bit of." Did you say it's rheumatism or something?
No, I said it might. I mean, a blueness can be through lack of circulation.
Right. So just.
And
so,
I'm definitely not a doctor.
You've got blue hands, bad circulation. We're going to send you home. We'll give you a Rubik's cube. Play around with that with your hands. Get the blood.
Rubik's Cube.
Get the blood pumping.
Yeah.
And don't worry. Don't say, "Oh, it's really bad." Just think she's 98. Let her have a nice rest of the life.
Yeah.
But instead, she was there, and the annoying thing was, and they do this with a lot of people in hospital, they pump you with drugs, try to sort it out. They don't, you know, there's probably a bit of guesswork going on. Maybe. A little bit.
Not as much as you, but go on.
Right? And because of that, they sort of break wind a lot. So I'm sat there with my dad talking.
Whoa.
Drugs do that, Steve. I'm sure if there's a doctor listening or a nurse, they will clarify
Right.
that if they pump you with all sorts of stuff, it wants to come out.
Right.
So you're sat there having a serious chat. It's a quiet hospital. The woman next door with the blue hands suddenly starts seeping gas, right? I start laughing. Because if there's one thing that makes you laugh, it's that. innit?
It's a 98-year-old woman with blue hands fine.
So you try to hold it in because it's a really quiet hospital, and it'd be obvious that that I was laughing at, and I didn't want to be mean, but it
No.
was funny. And then it got me talking about my auntie, because my auntie Nora, she same thing, pumped her with loads of drugs. She used to have a cabinet next to the bed is like boots. She's got loads of stuff, right, for all sorts of stuff. And I mean, she's not that old, but she's on loads of stuff, right?
She's
and
a bit coked up, is she?
she
Smack.
she called up my mum once, and
Yeah, you told us this. Go on, tell it again.
and she said, "Oh, how are you doing?" And that. She said, "All right." Bit worried though. My mum said, "Wow, what's up?" She said, "I've been breaking wind." So she goes, "Well, you know." She says, "No, but this one is going on and on and on." And she was like, she was like, what do you say? What's like passing wind, farting for 5 minutes. one thing, not like you know, trumping, and then nothing.
Yeah.
Continuous.
Continuous drone of a fart.
Yeah.
I don't think she had. How big was she? She must be the size of a barn.
No, she's not that big. She's, you know, she's good for her age.
No, but I
Slim
mean,
and that, quite slim.
no,
It's
but
just-
fighting for 5 minutes. Where's all the gas? Was she circular breathing? Was she sucking it in with her mouth?
It was just, I don't know that much about it. But she called up my mum. About 2.5 minutes in,
Could you hear it in the background?
2.5 minutes in!
2.5 minutes in, she called my mum up, and it went on for a further 2.5 minutes.
Oh.
And she just stayed on the phone, did she?
Where
On the
was-
phone, going,
well-
can you hear that?
Well,
Did she hold the phone next to her arse? Listen to that.
She was off the
I'm
ground.
trying to work a tune down.
she was actually hovering. She was 4
Yeah.
foot off the ground
Yeah.
when they found her, the ambulance
Yeah,
men.
the cat's dead.
Don't light a match! Don't light that cigarette!
Yeah, it's like that advert. The kids come home from school, switch on the lights.
Yeah. There they see Granny
Yeah.
hovering, turn the light on.
Be careful if you have an elderly woman at home.
Yeah. Drugs make you fart.
so that's what I'm saying, you know, just let these people...
What are you saying? No, wait a minute, what are you saying?
I'm saying let people enjoy the life they've got left.
No, you're not. You're saying don't put them in hospital, leave them at home to die.
No, I'm not.
Give them a Rubik's Cube and let them die.
I'll tell
That's what you're
something-
saying.
Yeah, I'll tell you something now, right? Steve,
Right.
I'll tell you something. I didn't want to do it because it'd bring the show down. But she did die.
Who, the blue-handed lady?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because I said to my dad, how's the, woman next door?
Next
He said,
party.
oh, she went last night. They've got an old fella in there now.
God.
So, there you go. So, wouldn't it have been better to leave her at home, where her friends and family can call and speak to her, even nip that round if they want, you know, with a cat, I imagine.
No, it's definitely a cat now. What's that cat's called, that you imagine?
Probably, I'm seeing like a big ginger one, so I don't know, something like, I don't know, maybe ginger, or whatever. Maybe I had a budgie. But that's what I'm saying, just let them enjoy this life, because dying in hospital, I wouldn't like to do it. If I went to the doctors and they said, you haven't got long life left, I'd say, well, I'll stay at home.
Yeah.
And that's the point I'm getting at,
Yeah.
right? If you can't do anything for them, let them enjoy the life.
Right, one more chance. What's happened in the last couple of weeks? Just one more chance to... What have you seen in the last couple of weeks?
Well, like I say, I don't really watch the news and that, so
Right.
I can't tell them about that. But in a way, I think they're better off not knowing. I think that's the only good thing about being out there, isn't it? Not knowing about the bad stuff going on.
Yeah.
So I can't help them there.
They don't need to look at the weather, do they?
No, don't you know? No. But tell you about the Pope and that.
Yeah, pretty extensive.
What about the EU Constitution and the no votes? What do you make of that? What are your views?
What's the problem there?
Oh, this isn't.
No, but it's better
This
not
isn't
knowing.
broadcasting,
It's
now,
better
is
not
it? This is
knowing.
nothing. Come up with something.
Well, the fat
Talk.
baby then, the fat baby that they found, that was on the telly.
Right. Well, what was that?
It's just a little fat baby. That,
Oh, for
I don't know what, it's just a little fat kid and that.
what? Tell what?
It was
What
on
is?
the telly, it was on the telly and
But
that.
what was on the telly? You just said fat baby, fat baby, fat baby, fat baby on telly, fat baby on telly. Do you meant to be telling them what's happened in the world? Tell me about the fat baby on telly.
It's just they've found some, there's this illness called Momo, right? And, they've just got this woman had a kid. It's really sad, it was on Channel 4 and that, right? And, kid's born.
You sure it wasn't Jimmy Carr?
Kid's born and that, right?
Momo?
It's called Momo,
Isn't that
yeah.
that Black Music Award?
No, right, little fat baby and that, and there's only 3 of them in the world. These little fat babies.
Right.
And
So
one of them,
they're in danger.
How fat? Are you not telling what do you mean? How fat are they?
6 stone it was only 2. And there's 3 of them in the world, and there was this one, and there was one in Brazil.
Are they like
No.
endangered? Is that the problem? Because there's only 3 of them in the world.
I don't
I'll be
know.
worried. This is like a conservation campaign.
Hunted for their flesh.
No, it's sad. I know, it's easy to
should
joke and
laugh,
that,
but
but if
you
you've
can make
seen
an
it, you'd
interesting
go, oh,
comeback.
it's a bit sad and that. See, there's always other things going on in my mind when I'm in that pub quiz. For me, it's just a little bit of fun.
Sure.
It's a night out. Do you know what I mean? Suzanne enjoys it.
Yeah.
Bit of a get-together, we have a chat beforehand.
Yeah.
We have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But there was other things on my mind.
What were you
Carl,
thinking?
I could do that here. I don't
No,
have to
wait.
lose a tenner.
Wait, what were you thinking during the quiz then, when the questions were coming out? What were you thinking of?
Well, what it was, right, just before the quiz started, I had to go to the toilet, right? Because the rule is, right, people who don't go to it, once it starts, phones off,
Oh, yeah,
no
you
more
can't leave
toilet.
the room,
They
yeah.
take it dead serious, don't they, right?
Yeah.
So, I went to the toilet. Now, I'm not being out of order here, it just got me thinking, right? I went to the toilet. The gay fella in there, right?
There was a gay fella in there.
Gay fella in the toilet. Now,
How could you tell?
How did you know?
just typical, you know, everything about it, right?
Everything about it, right, yeah.
Oh.
What,
Just
large
like-
handlebar moustache,
What-
leather
what-
cap.
Butt plugs, amyl nitrate. Could I just say that these views do not reflect the views of the management of XFM or me and Steve.
Or
Go on,
most
Carl.
of the people in this country. On
Go
you
on, go on, Carl. What's your problem?
Yeah, but this is what I'm worried about, really. But this is why I only got Danny Minogue right. Right? Because this was floating around my mind. Went
She's
to
a
the
big
toilet.
gay icon,
Now,
isn't she?
going to the toilet, they have like men's cubicle and they have women's cubicle.
Yeah.
Now, without sounding out of order, is it wrong for me to think gay men should have their own little cubicle?
Call in!
They should have their own, well, not cubicle, you mean an actual toilet, I suppose.
When I was at the urinal,
Yeah.
normally, you know, there's a fella there and you go, alright. And there's no pressure. But I couldn't go. I was thinking, should I wait? If I go into the toilet, it'll look obvious.
Yeah.
I had loads of pressure and
But
this was
what were
going
you
on.
worried
I'm so
about?
sorry.
What were
I'm
you
so
concerned
sorry,
about?
viewers. I'm so
Well,
sorry.
it's like, right, listen, when I was a kid, right, and it's alright for you to go into women's toilets when you're a kid, it's like, oh, it's a bit cute,
Yeah.
right, as long as you're not, like, over 15 or something, right?
Right.
But when I was a kid, I went into a toilet, and women, when they use their little cubicles, they don't shut the door. Some of them just sit down on the toilet,
Yeah.
right, and you see everything, and, no, seriously, that's probably one of the first times I saw, like, a woman.
Yeah.
That, right, and my Auntie Nora when she was staying over.
What happened with your Auntie Nora?
She was, she's into wearing caftans.
Into wearing what?
You know, caftans.
Oh, yeah.
What caftans?
Big, bellowy sort of dresses.
Right, right.
And, yeah, I used to sit on the floor at home in front of the telly.
Sure.
She was on the chair behind.
Yeah.
She did a bit of a, sort of a Sharon Stone scene.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
There was no underwear.
No.
What age were you?
What was it like?
What age were
It
you?
was like a ripped tennis ball. So.
What? Right, we're off air. We're off air. Either that or put us in for the Sonys.
Tell us about this monkey, Carl.
You're gonna love this one, Steve,
Go on.
right? Yeah, so last week we were talking about how, like, a lad left his family because there was problems at home and that. He went and lived in the wood, he got airy, right?
No!
Leave it there, Rick. We
Oh,
haven't got time to go into
Right,
it.
so...
That's what happened.
And that's what happened, he lived with the monkeys, he went airy.
That's
Anyway,
what happened. That's what happened.
looked into, some other stuff about, like, airy kids and all that.
Yeah.
Came across this story about a bloke, right, who worked in a zoo,
Oh, dear.
right? So,
Trouble's brewing.
loving his job and that, but it's quite a lonely sort of job because you don't see many people, you're just dealing with animals all the time, right? So, anyway, he gets a bit pally with a monkey because it's the closest thing to a human.
Well, that ape is.
Right.
Yeah, but you can't really go that close to apes. Is
Well,
it dangerous?
what do you mean? What type was it? Do you
Just
mean it was
let
a
him tell the
Was it
story.
a chimpanzee?
I reckon it was a chimp, yeah. Yeah, it
Oh,
was
you
a
don't
chimp.
even know,
It
so
was a
it's an
chimp.
ape.
It was a
Okay.
chimp. Yeah, but it doesn't matter, does it?
So he
It's a
gets
story.
pally with him.
Right, so he gets pally with
Well,
him.
did they
and
go on
there's-
holiday together?
Well, no, I mean, it starts
On the
off,
pool together.
starts off just checking each other out and, you know, probably sharing lunch and that together.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, this goes on for a while. Is, you know, they're getting on well on that. And then after a while, right, the monkey starts sort of imitating him a bit more and sort of walking upright,
Oh, God.
Yeah.
right? So he thinks, oh, that's a bit weird. Anyway, they get on really better and what have you, so he thinks he could live at home with me, this.
Yeah.
Because we're getting on the storm,
Yeah.
right? So he takes him home, and before
Is
you
this
know
the
it...
beginning of Beneath the Planet of the Apes? I think it is. I think you've seen this on video.
I'm worried, because he's already imitating him and they're moving in together. I'm thinking it's maybe a bit like single white female. Single white zookeeper.
Oh, brilliant.
Right, so
Go on.
anyway, so it's moving in, and it's getting used to sort of the normal human life. It's having a cup of tea in the morning.
Yeah. PG tips.
As a... as a he finishes the day off with
Oh dear.
Finishes the day off with what?
He
with
does,
a
he
little
doesn't have to
brandy.
move a piano at one point, does
He
he?
finishes the day off with a little brandy.
Yeah.
What, he pours himself. Is he wearing a smoking jacket?
You, I'll tell you what, Carl. You're a maniac,
listen,
mate.
no, this is why it attracted me. It's amazing, right? So he's having his brandy and that, loving his life. Next thing you know, he sort of, I don't know if he loses it or he gets shaved, but the top half of his body is hairless, right? Apart from his head, right? So he's got a nice.
So it's the opposite of the kid.
Well,
Yeah,
this is what
but
I'm saying,
that would happen.
right?
Well, hang on, but so you don't know if
You
he
don't
was
even
shaved
know.
or if it's
How
not.
did it say? Then the hairless. What?
I'll bring it in for you, the story, and then you
Alright,
can
well,
see if
okay,
I've gone
keep
wrong.
going.
So anyway, so this is going on, and he's having a great life. Then the zookeeper starts getting a bit annoyed because he's having a better life than the zookeeper. The zookeeper's in the zoo.
This is such
So the
rubbish.
zookeeper's still got to do a day's work. The monkey's at home, he's partying.
Well,
he's
it
got
gets
his
to a
other
point when he
chipmates
says,
round.
"There's no point you coming in to the zoo because the whole reason of you being there was because you're being kept there."
Right.
And he didn't want to bring the memories back, so he said, "You stay at home." So
You are you're talking such.
Just let him finish.
God, I don't know if I can sit here and listen to this drivel.
Let me. I'm fascinated.
it's
It
nearly
sounds
over anyway,
amazing.
right?
It sounds extraordinary. Carl.
So he's walking up, right? He's having a tea in the morning, finishing the day off with brandy. Gets a bit out of hand. Only tries it on with the zookeeper's wife.
Make him go away, Steve.
How does he do that?
Well, because he's around humans a lot, he becomes a bit of a charmer. And
But what is it that he could do to seduce her? Pick fleas out of her?
he didn't say.
He's
but-
built. He was built.
Yeah, it's well hung.
So what about
What do you mean? What about it, Carl? It's obviously not true. It's obviously not true.
that? This wasn't on the internet. This was in a book. So it's not a quick joke and just put it on a website. This is in a book.
I don't understand how the
I
monkey-
love that he becomes a charmer. He's got better taste in brandy.
Exactly.
And he, that
What
is-
was it that he was doing that seduced her?
I don't know. Maybe because he was at home more than the zookeeper was.
But what would he be doing,
I love
Carl?
the fact that-
He's not going to be talking with her. They're not going to be playing like Trivia Pursuit.
Maybe she liked the silent type. He didn't go into that. He just said that's when the trouble started.
Carl, play a record.
Alright.
Is that what Suzanne did when she brought you in?
When you were talking just now about like the gay stuff,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if you saw the thing the other week about the fella who's on that quiz show.
Oh.
Sort of
Oh, right, okay.
gay
Who?
fella, straight, sort of man, woman.
What are you talking about? Tell me what did you see? Tell me what you saw.
It's
This is like a kid come running in, and he's seeing something frightening. It could be an alien, could be a ghost, could be a paedophile, and you've got to get exactly what actually he saw out of him. Right, what did you actually see?
It's just this fella who's a woman.
Right. Right, okay, right, try and talk like a human being. Right.
It's a quiz show that's coming on the telly, and it's this woman.
Right, is it a fella who's a woman, or is it a woman?
Bit of both. That's why I'm talking about it.
But what do you mean? Is it a pre-op? Is it a transsexual? A transvestite? Is it a lady boy? Is it an hermaphrodite? What is
I'll tell
it?
you about it.
Well, tell me.
I'm telling you. It's a woman. Well, it's a man.
Oh,
No,
forget it.
listen.
Play a record.
No, listen.
come on.
What?
It is a man. He is a man. Well,
Oh, Christ's sake!
it's a TV program where they've got this man who's
Transvestite or television?
It is a transvestite, yeah.
So-
but the problem is, I'll tell you just because you don't know about it. The program is.
I don't know. I still don't know about it. I don't know anything about it. Still, I don't know. It's a woman, man, woman, man, woman, TV program. Look, TV.
No, it's a man who is now sort of half a woman. And
A man who is now half a woman.
no, well, this is what's weird about it. He's got the top half, but not the bottom half.
What do you
sorted
mean? He's
out.
got breasts and a wig, but he's still got his boys downstairs. He's
Why
got
do you do that?
his caps and the boys
What
are
do you do
still
that
there
for?
in his wife fronts.
Why
But
is that?
upstairs, he's got a lovely pair of dumplings.
Why do that?
Well, he's halfway through.
But why not get it all done in one go?
Maybe he couldn't afford it.
Well, wait until you've got all the money. That just looks a mess. And who's he pleasing there?
Well, he wakes up in the morning and
everyone.
pleases himself. He can't believe his luck. He doesn't know where to start.
No, but what I don't understand, I mean, you know, I don't want to seem...
Well, could I just
seem
finish that
ignorant.
sentence? What you don't understand is just about everything.
Yeah.
Right, what,
No, I find it weird, right? I sort of get... I understand the gay thing, right? But...
do you? What do you mean?
Well, you know, I know...
Well,
I
tell
know,
me the gay thing. Explain the
well,
gay
I
thing.
just know if you're a fella, you like men. I don't know much more than that.
What do you mean you don't know?
But what I mean is, with a transvestite, what's going on there? What do they want?
Now, transvestite is a cross-dresser.
See, I don't get that either. Because
You mean a
That's somebody,
transsexual?
that's a man who likes to dress in women's clothing. It's not necessarily, they're not necessarily gay.
They're
or
not gay.
straight
They're
or
often not
anything.
gay.
They just happen to like wearing women's
Those clothes, aren't yeah.
but then why not wear women's clothes that could be seen as a bloke's, like Suzanne wears jeans?
No, but they, yeah,
Just
but that's
buy
the
women's
thing.
jeans.
But that's their problem, is it? They like being seen as a woman. They like being seen as a woman. It's not just that it's more comfortable, or they wear a kilt. They like being seen as a woman. They feel more comfortable.
Alright, and what's the deal with this fella who's got
We don't know
both?
who this fella is.
No, we don't know this man who's half a woman.
He's called Miriam.
Oh, that's helped.
yeah. Brilliant. I love this scientific basis.
No, I
so
think-
all he's done, he's had the tits done, he's probably had the hormones, probably lived as a woman for a while. The last step, because you can probably reverse the breasts anyway, because they're probably implants and hormonal things, and whereas you chop your knob and boys off, that's, you come back the next day and go, sorry, I didn't mean that, I wanted my ears pierced. It's a bit more of a bigger operation to put them back. So, doctors are probably making sure that he's just up
Surely
to...
if you've had the top half done, you're not going to go back on what you've said.
But no, what's the top half being done? I could get you breast implants, give you a bit of hormonal treatment.
Now
and
that
you
would
could
be a great idea for next week.
and you could reverse it. What you can't do is grow a knob back.
Well, you can. Last week we were talking about growing one on your arm.
Yeah.
We've done that.
We covered that, so that is possible. But the thing is, the truth of it is, I think I do know about this story. I think it was a television programme called There's Something About Miriam. The conceit of which was that this pre-op transsexual
So I guessed that right, yeah.
was masquerading as a woman,
Right.
and various blokes who didn't realise that this was a man had to
I've heard
try
about
and
this.
seduce her. And when they found out that it was actually a bloke, and a lot of them had kissed
agree.
her, they refused to let it be shown.
I
and there was a big
agree
outrage.
though.
and so on.
That's just terrible.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, it's
deceit.
absurd.
But I mean, that's awful. Yeah, I heard it. I hated that.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. Let's do Rockbusters.
Right,
Email only, of course.
Yeah. You email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you know the answer. Right, first one. Bit of a cryptic clue if you haven't heard it before.
Wow, not cryptic, we're wrong. What is Carl thinking?
If you go into France by boat, I'd get your fags on there because it's a lot cheaper.
Imagine Bob Holness. Sorry, we're out of time. Sorry, your minute's up. You've won nothing. I was reading that question out.
Sorry,
Right.
so what's the...
Right, let's do it again. And I want it to be exactly the same, word perfect. I bet you it will change all over the place. It'll be different. He's lost it.
Go into France, buy yourself a boat
Yeah.
with fags and cheaper.
Okay, fingers on the buzzers. You've only got 10 seconds to win the gold run. Okay, first up. Here, I'll tell you what, no, seriously, if you're thinking of going to France, well don't, because go on the ferry, get the fags there, because it's cheaper. Go on.
Right, so that one again. If you want to buy some fags, you're going over to France on the boat, get them on there because you'll save a few quid. BF.
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 Okay.
Right, the second one. This little foreign cafe's growing its own steak.
This little foreign cafe is growing its own steak.
This little foreign cafe's growing its own steak.
Go on.
D.
Alright.
Right?
Okay.
And the last one,
Is that part of it?
hang on.
He's the best, isn't he? He's the best.
The Jamaican fella might have screamed this on the Titanic.
What?
The Jamaican fella might have screamed this on the Titanic.
Yeah.
What's it start with?
It's CD, that one.
Jamaican fellow might have screamed this on the Titanic. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Please don't phone in. If you can get those, we just don't want to talk to you.
We'll get Rockbusters out of the way. Have we got a winner?
Yeah,
well,
come on in. See, it worries me that we've had very few entries. I think that even your mental fans aren't getting these, which is really worrying. They must be terrible clues this week.
Alright, well,
Has anyone got 'em right, Steve?
I think there's just one guy, yeah, who I suspect has won in the past. but
Well,
there we are.
so what?
right, the first one, if you go out of France by boat, you might as well buy your fags when you're on that, because you'll get them a lot cheaper,
Brilliant.
right?
Yeah.
BF,
Yeah.
buy it ferry, right? That's like,
What?
buy on ferry.
What?
Buy on
What's Brian Ferry? What's that? Is that a band?
What?
What is it? I don't know what it is.
Brian Ferry,
Brian Ferry? What's that got to do with buying on a ferry, though?
just because it's quite close to it. Buy on, buy on ferry.
What?
Buy on ferry.
Sorry, what?
That's the
What's your
first one.
first language?
The second one,
That's rubbish. That doesn't count.
No, of course not.
Brian Ferry.
Brian Ferry, Bayonne Ferry.
there's this little foreign cafe.
Yeah.
It's growing its own steak. That's Delamitri. The third one,
What? Sorry, what? What is that? What is that? Delamitri.
Delhi, is a little foreign cafe.
Yeah?
A meat tree and that.
A meat tree! A meat tree! What were the initials for that?
Just D for that.
Just D for that?
Yeah.
So not DA?
So you didn't even give him a chance to get the group.
Oh, they got it.
Well, no.
No, they didn't. Right, it's the end. Go on, right. Go on.
Delhi meat tree?
Deli meat tree. One word. D. Or any letter.
They're growing their own
M.
meat.
M's in it. Go on. Okay, so Bayern, I love Bayern Ferry. And
Can I just point out, Rick-
Oxymusic was brilliant.
Can I just-
I love Oxymusic. Go on.
Can I just point out, Rick, that, we've had
David Bowie?
Delhi meat tree.
Yeah.
I don't see why, necessarily, Aidan, who emailed in, why he doesn't get to win, because he emailed in dire steaks. Seems to me just as valid, as far as I can tell, but
Yeah.
Delhi meat tree it is.
And the last one, if there was a Jamaican fella on the Titanic,
I'm looking forward to
This
this.
is good.
With a little bit of fear.
Jamaican fella, if he was on the Titanic, he probably would have screamed this.
Yeah.
That's Christ de Berg.
Oh! I don't know what to do. Stunning.
So who's the winner?
I'm not going to give it to anyone. I just don't. I
So
think
what's the Jamaican bit got to do with it?
It's the D. Just Christ de Berg.
Say it again.
No, I think they've worked it out now.
Say it again.
Christ de Berg.
And who's that?
What?
Who's that?
Who's what?
Who's Christ de Berg?
Chris de Berg. Who's the winner, Steve?
do you know what? I'm going to give it to
So-
Aidan because he just treated you with nothing but contempt. Steve Martin emailed in again. He got the first two, and then the last one he just emailed. I neither know nor care about this answer. I'm tempted to give him. He's one
Do you know what
in
you've done there, don't you?
Go on.
You've put the nail in the coffin of Rockbusters. I warned you for 3 weeks, and you sort of bucked your ideas up for a little while. But Christ de
Those
Berg,
are the worst you've ever done.
the worst. Delimitri. So and didn't just put D, and then Bayern Ferry. Bayern Ferry. Bayern Ferry.
So, is that it then? Aren't we doing it
Play a
anymore?
record.
Aren't we doing it anymore?
I'm ashamed.
You're an idiot.
Are we doing it anymore?
I'm just going to keep saying you're an idiot.
Play a
Are
record.
we doing
Carl,
it
have
anymore?
you learnt nothing from Dr. Fox?
Yeah.
That's not a Sony out the window.
Huh?
Aren't we doing it anymore?
What, you need to start working on it now, because they're so good, you need to start working now for next Saturday.
Aren't we doing it anymore?
Just, I don't know.
Aren't we doing it?
What's weird about it? What's strange about an octopus with all the things that could...
Why is it any weirder than a dog?
Because it couldn't be further away from us. A dog has got human eyes. If a jellyfish had a pair of eyes like ours, I probably wouldn't worry about him that much. But like I said to you, it's that way that they haven't got eyes, they're floating about. I can handle some fish, they look like us, they've got eyes, you can make eye-to-eye contact with them. A jellyfish, what are you looking at? It's a snidey thing, like I've said to you. You can see a lot in eyes, do you know what I mean? They say, don't trust him, why? It's his eyes. Jellyfish haven't even got any and I don't trust them. Whereas if it had them, maybe there'd be the odd one that I'd go, oh, that one's alright.
Okay, Carl, I'm just going to throw an animal at you. Tell me how weird it is what bits annoy you, how you change it, okay? A crab.
How would I change it?
Yeah. Does it annoy you? Do you think it's weird?
They are weird, but they're at that size where they can get away with it.
Yeah, it suits them. Okay, good.
Would I change anything? In a way, you know, what you're saying about things not working, he can't walk forwards. So
But-
why hasn't something happened? Why haven't they said, you know what, these arms are too clumsy. We need to have them so they can slot away easier, and we can pull them out when we need them, instead of clumping around with them. Because they do struggle. You see them struggling with their arms. Yet they're still here, they're still doing that, they're still designed that way.
What's the weirdest animal? So you think the octopus is the weirdest animal on Earth?
Yeah. In terms of design and everything, and if you lined everything up, say if I'd come from another planet,
Yeah.
and everything was lined up in a row, and they said, right, we're going to give you a crash course in what's knocking about on this planet.
Yeah.
And you go, right, go on then. And they go, this is man, here's woman, here's a dog, here's a cat, here's an octopus, here's a... I go, hang on a minute, what is this?